Nathan Ninja Monkey. You could say that I'm a bit of a Japan travel otaku. I travel to Japan multiple times a year as a tourist, and my aim is to create content as a tourist for tourists, all those interested in traveling to Japan. And nothing makes me happier than seeing you guys have an amazing trip after following my advice. So please do check out some of my travel guides and easy to follow itineraries. Welcome to Ninja Monkey. I hope I have a bunch of happy gaijins. Sunday stream for those of you who are new. I'm Nathan Ninja Monkey and I make content about Japan as a tourist for tourists or for those who are interested in visiting the country. So if you are a tourist or somebody who is planning on going to Japan in the future, you've definitely come to the right stream. This is the live stream, which means that it's interactive and hopefully you'll be able to ask me questions or simply interact in the chat. So let's start off by telling me where you're from, what brings you to the channel, why you're interested in Japan, etc. And if you're watching this at a later time on replay, then leave a comment and do the same. So let's start off by checking out who is here today, as I always do. Very excited, as always. Joan is in hospital, which is obviously not nice, and I hope that she is doing much better. Best wishes to you. More positivity heading your way. And there is a meetup actually up there. There's a QR code, the meetup in the Discord. I'm actually going to remove this for now, and I'll talk about that at some point during the stream. Good evening, Lani. How are you doing? Caroline is here. How are you doing, Caroline? In fact, Caroline, I've put out a new video. For those of you watching now, I've actually put out a new video. Basically, don't get lost in Japan. There's no need to get lost in Japan. There are so many travel apps that you can use to help you, guide you, and do all sorts of things to help you out when you're in Japan. If you haven't checked out that video, maybe one of my mods can actually share the link to my latest video. Check that out first and then return. It's about 12 minutes long, 13 minutes long, and you'll be back and filled in with all the information that you need to know for this one, or just wait to the end and catch that video at the end. I think there's some interesting bits of information in that video all about the apps that I use when I travel to Japan, and I actually mean it, by the way. When I am in Japan, I use all the features that I mentioned in that video, and I've actually had quite a few like comments, surprise comments, like, oh, I didn't know you could use Google Maps to find JR Pass sort of like transit routes and times. And yeah, you can. I mean, it's not as comprehensive or as simple as Navitime, as I mentioned in the video, because you do need to know which trains you can use and which trains you can't. But once you know, it's very easy to do so. So that's the first thing that I think. That's why I put Google Maps at the very beginning of the video. It's definitely my number one app. And Caroline mentioned in a comment, she said, I use Suica on my Apple Watch, and I actually met Caroline in London, and I helped to set it up. And I said, and I replied saying, well, I use Suica on both my Apple Watch and also, so I have it here on my Apple Watch, and I also have it on my phone. Why? Because I like to be extra sometimes. So yeah, anyway, let's carry on. A little bit of a side. Let's see. Hey Steve, konbanwa minasan. Everyone, hey, thanks for being here, Stevie. I just booked some flights to Japan, so thought it was time for some monkey action. Always time to talk about Japan. I'm gonna have to start changing this stream and call it like make everybody jealous stream. You know, like most of the stream is basically us discussing our next trips, which is really exciting, I guess. Yeah. And Steve is going in late October. Nice one. I became more and more jealous when I attend these live. I become more and more jealous when I attend these live streams. Congrats, Stevie. Have fun. This is the thing, right? Greetings from hot and sunny Brussels. Philippe, thank you for being here. And evening, everyone. Japan is in the house. Maurice is also in the house. How's it going, everyone? Lani, nice to have you here. Mina Lori, hey, how are you doing? Blue Silver with a very pink, red hand there. What have you been doing there? Don't forget to like the video. It does help a lot. Hey, Feng, thanks for being here also. And you're in Florida, Northeast England. Craig, hey, how are you doing? And Jesse from Chicago. Wow. Howdy from wet and stormy Florida. Really? Wet and stormy. Interesting. And we have Mahavir, I don't know how to say, Mahavir Consulting, Canada Immigration Consultants. Wow, that's a long name. Hey, how are you doing? I'm doing fine. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, and Joan, I do hope that you get better. If you need anything, we're here to support you. By the way, to anyone complaining about prices of observation decks in Tokyo, the Sears Tower here costs almost £40 to go up. And I can tell you that observation decks in London are really expensive. To go up to the Shard is quite expensive, to the top of the Shard. Hey from California, Garrett says, going to Japan first 3 weeks of November, been to Japan 3 times for work. Are you going for work or pleasure this time? That's a question. Craig, getting lots of kind of fun. Found some amazing places and when I didn't know where I was. Craig says, cool. Hey from Tennessee, Jeff, how are you doing, Jess? Jeff, nice to see you, dude. Thank you very much for coming. In the video you mentioned eSIMs, but you didn't go into detail. Do you recommend eSIMs over physical SIMs? Are there companies you recommend? Okay, I mentioned eSIMs and I didn't go into details for various reasons. First of all, I didn't want to do any free advertisements, and I'm not gonna lie, I have reached out to some eSIM like companies saying, if you want to shout out, then here I am, basically. Secondly, I have used 2 or 3 different eSIM companies in the past in Europe and in Japan, and they mostly operate in a very similar way. So in that respect, I think that the most important thing is that you do your research. The things that you should look out for when using an eSIM are, I would say, probably 3 points. Number 1 is look at data usage limits per day and see if that fits with the kind of usage that you're going to be, how you're going to be using the data. Number 2, check out if you can actually tether with your SIM, because sometimes there are some plans, eSIMs and physical SIMs, that don't allow you to tether. So if you're planning to get an eSIM and tether on your phone and share the connection with family members or connect to your laptop, etc., iPad, then double check that. And thirdly, I would say, when does it expire and how long you're going to be there for? Those are probably the main things. Didn't go into specific, details, because I really do think that when it comes to data, everyone does have very different requirements. Everyone has different ways of using data. I am a power user. When I'm in Japan, I stream. I actually, for example, this time round, I'm not just going to have one eSIM. I'm going to have an eSIM. I'm probably going to have a physical SIM, and I'm also going to have pocket Wi-Fi, the 3 going at the same time, so that I can stream and I can actually hopefully bring some interesting content, hopefully clearly, especially since I'm going to be quite rural in many parts of my trip. Hopefully I'll be able to do a more in-depth review video about physical SIMs, pocket Wi-Fi's, and about eSIMs. But eSIMs work very nicely, and they're really good to have as a backup. Like I mentioned in the video, simply if at a moment, at a short notice, you need data, then if you have an eSIM app, as long as you have Wi-Fi, you can activate it, and you can have data ready for you, ready to go. So it can be a lifesaver in many ways, in many aspects. Whew. Whoa. Kit Kat says hello. Hey. Android needs Suica. Yeah, yes. Well, there's Passimo. I haven't found. I've been asking around to see if there are any ways around it, and I don't know personally. I'm an iPhone user. Don't think there's much difference nowadays between phones. You know, it's just a preference thing. I wouldn't say one's better over the other or anything like that. I'd just say that I have iPhone because I started on iPhone and I've stuck to it, basically. For anyone who may be interested, Jim Ross, hey! As last week Nathan mentioned that Suica 10 years green penguin cards were stopping issue on June the 8th. I wanted one and every one of the Japanese sites was sold out. Wow! That is interesting, Jim. Don't forget, like, I think that a lot of people are sort of getting a little bit confused. Suica is here. You'll be able to get a welcome Suica. I didn't mention it on the video because I try to make my videos as evergreen as I can, basically meaning that regardless of what changes come our way, those videos will still be relevant in a year, 2, 3 years time. So I didn't want to mention that the Suica isn't available, which is why I mentioned that there's a welcome Suica that you can access. And also, I think that the way forward anyway is having Suica on your phone. So hopefully I was able to explain it easily and give a tutorial that will help you get your Suica up and going on your iPhone anyway. And I didn't want to leave out the Android, guys. I did do my research, and the best thing that I could do was find the app that would allow you to check your balance, etc. Radford, hey, aloha, hey. My Suica has arrived 2 days after I ordered. Now I'm happy to have and don't have to worry about it. Awesome, Lani. And good evening there, Stephen. Hey from sunny California. And Google Maps is the best, makes it less scary to solo trip. How many of you use the Google Maps live view? I have to admit that I use it more than I expect it to. The first time I used it, I thought it was going to be a little bit of a gimmick, you know, like pointing and seeing the arrows on the screen. However, since I think cities like Tokyo, even London, etc., they have such high, you know, buildings that sometimes getting a good GPS location can be really hard. And you can be looking at your map, and there can be a little arrow, and it will be pointing in the wrong place, basically. So what happens is that it actually gets all the images around you, and it will find exactly where you are. And sometimes you'll actually see the little pointy thing of where you are on the map. You'll actually see it jump to the right where you exactly are and point in the right direction, which is really, really useful. But Google Maps is for navigating through the streets, very much so. Hey Gary, very hot in London. I know, I've heard. Yes, Android in Suica, pleasure. Traveling from Hawaii to Japan, July 10th to the 17th. Nice one. And Radford, you will be missing the meetup just by a little bit. Can't wait to go to Shinjuku in September. Gary, it will be so much fun. You'll, get out of Shinjuku. There's so many places around Tokyo to check out. However, if you want one, I got one from Japanese Experience located in France, but mine came from San Francisco, but got it in 4 days. Jim Ross, nice. Previously got my Japanese physical SIM card from them. Yeah, they actually contacted me at some point for some project, but it sort of fell through. My first personal trip to Japan, nice Garrett, coming to see the autumn foliage, Sendai, Tokyo, and Kansai cities. Nice. Well, that sounds like a very cool trip. A little bit off the beaten path, a little bit, yeah, nice. Chris prefers pocket Wi-Fi. eSIMs are surprisingly cheap too. They can be surprisingly cheap. But I do find that in terms of maybe data comparison, like comparing how much data and usage, usually I'd say that that probably, pocket Wi-Fi is better. Jessica's in the house. Jessica, maybe after the stream, I give you a little chat. Jessica's just come back from Japan. I might give you a call if that's cool. I wanted you on this stream actually, but I've been so busy with my last video. I have a couple of questions, Nathan. I plan to not buy JR Pass this October. Can I buy bullet train tickets and IC cards directly with my credit card, debit card? Yes, you can. Of course, you can. You can. Well, first of all, you can buy and use your credit card from any kiosk, and most like vending machines. What do you call ticket machines? Most. All right. When it comes to IC cards, yeah, you can top up using a credit card also, most of the time. I did. To know if it was in the right metro platform. Okay, cool. There you go. Tried live view while in Japan and found it surprisingly good. Cool. Doesn't live view also let you see like what buildings around you are? Like if it's a restaurant, etc. Yeah, the problem with that, Jesse, it's quite funny. Because Japan has so many sort of things like restaurants and facilities up, like high up, like sometimes bars and izakayas and whatever, they're like on the 20th floor or whatever, and for now, as far as I'm aware, Google doesn't really like it shows you where it is, but it doesn't show you if it's above you. It would be really cool if in the future there's an arrow pointing up, so that you know that it's like on the 4th floor or the 5th floor or whatever. Never tried live view. It's pretty cool. It's pretty useful, especially to get you walking. Once I start walking, I'm fine, Hi, Passimo and Suica are out. What happens to the money I have in my Passimo physical card? At the moment, I'm in the UK, but I will be back in Japan in November. Passimo and Suica are not out. I don't know what's going on. There's somebody that must have made a video, like some kind of clickbait video saying that Passimo and Suica are ended or something, and probably people have just seen the thumbnail and that's it, and they've assumed Passimo and Suica are still running and everything's working normally. There's nothing has changed. The only thing is that currently they're not issuing the blank Passimo or Suica cards. They're only issuing the registered Suica and Passimo and the tourist ones, and you can still get it on the phone. In fact, I have one right now here on my phone with 2,215 yen credit, which will be used. And if you have one, I don't think they expire for like 10 years. So as long as you use them in 10 years, you can use it. Unless it's if it's the Welcome Suica. The Welcome Suica, the tourist one, it expires after 28 days. That's the only thing. I haven't used live view yet. Okay, cool. Use it seriously. It's kind of fun for those very like short moments, right? Not I wouldn't say like use it all the time, but there you go. Jesse's saying that. Gabriella, live view is a godsend. Only got lost 3 times. Wow, Ace Gundam boy, 3 times. I'm not gonna lie, I get lost sometimes, but part of the fun in traveling is getting lost a little bit, I guess. Hey, what's going on? I have it in live chat, but it's sort of missed a lot of things. So if I miss some of your chats, I do apologize. I've seen travel prices come down a little. Do you think they'll continue to? Well, you know what, Rider, it's very unpredictable. I'd say at the moment, I really don't know if flights are going to come down. I've been keeping an eye on my tracker. Let's see if I can show you. One of my trackers, and you can get an idea of what's going on here. So, do I have a tracker? It sort of like goes up, goes down, goes up, goes down, goes up, goes down, then randomly goes down. Like, I don't know what happened there, but it's staying rather quite it's staying quite steady at the moment. Check this out. I don't know if you can see it, but there was one day, obviously, where the prices went down to like half the price, but overall, it's sort of staying. I get notifications which tell me that they go down like £40, then that they go up £100, go down £100, go up £200, go down £200. So it sort of stays very, very regular. I would say set up some kind of a monitoring, like thing. Expedia has one, and Skyscanner also has one. Basically, you set yourself a route, and you set, there's a little toggle normally that tells you to monitors it, and you can see what's going on. If the price goes down, you get an email, that kind of thing. Is going to Northern Honshu in late February, early March crazy? I'm looking at that for a couple of reasons. Well, what are the reasons? I guess it depends on the reasons, really. And I don't think it's crazy. It depends what you're looking for. Obviously, probably February and early March, there'll be quite a lot of snow. So that's something to consider, but it's probably going to be very beautiful and very unique. I used a pocket Wi-Fi during my last trip. The staff warned me that it was less effective near the shore coast. Went to Yokosuka, and it was basically useless. Keep that in mind. Okay, interesting. Hey Michelle, how are you doing? And Jessica, hope you had a most excellent experience and will do a live with Nathan. Inquiring minds want to know. Yeah, Jessica's just got back, so maybe very, very soon, hopefully, I'd say. We use pocket Wi-Fi as there's normally more than one of us traveling, so it's cheaper to buy one device than a few SIMs. This is exactly why it's so difficult. I mean, people ask me all the time. I get messages and comments on YouTube videos like, what hotel should I stay in? Do you have a hotel that you recommend? What Wi-Fi should I use? What eSIM should I use, etc.? And it's really nearly impossible for me to answer because everyone is so different and everyone has different needs. If you're traveling with a family, then as Japan Ichiban, check out his Facebook, by the way. Japan Ichiban on Facebook. He has an amazing Facebook page. Pretty darn good posts in the last week, I have to say. Check it out. You can put the link of your Facebook, by the way, Japan Ichiban. But what I was going to say is that, as he has mentioned, if you're traveling as a family, it might be cheaper to buy one device and share. Especially if you're going to be as a family unit pretty much all the time together. If you're going to be traveling with friends, it could work out, except for usually, like when you travel with friends, you might want to separate and then you might have a problem. I know that some people do like a combination where they basically get like a very, very cheap, you have pocket Wi-Fi on where you share with your friends, and then everybody has a very, very cheap sort of eSIM plan, like maybe like an $8 like 1 gigabyte or 2 gigabytes eSIM plan, just for those emergency situations or those moments where you will separate and you need to communicate. So you can do like a hybrid sort of like system that can also work. But yeah, it does depend on how you're going to use it and who you're with. It's a tax on long haul flights. That's a killer. So does it rain basically all summer? No, kind of. No, yes. I don't know how to explain it. It does. I think when you travel to Japan in the summer, you do need to be prepared for rain. It definitely rains less in the rainy season. And I think that when it comes to rain in the summer, especially in July, in August, you start getting like monsoon, typhoon season. The amazing thing is Japan is very well prepared for typhoons. And other than that, the weather forecast forecasting in Japan is top notch. If it says it's going to rain, it's going to rain. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to rain all day. It could literally rain for 10 minutes, and the weather app will say that it's going to rain, even though it's only for 10 minutes. But you can sort of have an idea. Look at the daily, hourly forecast, and you get a pretty close idea. By the way, I wanted to mention one thing, and that is up there. 4 weeks to go to Japan. What? 4 weeks to go, guys! 4 weeks to go to Japan, and I received a donation from Jim earlier on. So arigatou gozaimasu. Thank you very much, Jim, for your donation. I just really wanted to shout that out, basically. Yeah. So yeah, awesome. Let's carry on with the chat. See what you all have to say. Yeah, but basically, I think talking about the rain that you just mentioned right now, I wouldn't be too concerned. Really, I really wouldn't be too concerned. If it rains, just be prepared for the rain. It doesn't rain all the time in summer. I think that maybe if I've gone on a 3-week trip, maybe it's rained 3 of the days or 4 of the days across the 3 weeks in total. And usually it's not all day unless it's a typhoon. And if it's a typhoon, it's probably going to be like a 3-day thing, where the first day is going to be like a little bit of rain, then you have the main day of the typhoon, and then it sort of like goes away. And it also isn't the whole of Japan. So if you are flexible and you have a JR pass, you can actually escape a typhoon for better weather, which I've done many times. You know, I've been in Tokyo, a typhoon is going to hit, I've seen the weather forecast, I know it's going to be a day of hellish rain, and I've gone down to Osaka or Kyoto and basically arrived to no rain whatsoever for that day. So yeah, use your common sense. Late to the game from LA. Hey, back in the clay. What are you doing here? You were streaming a minute ago with your friends, and it looked like loads of fun. Cool, Michelle. Thanks, and I'm glad you're doing well. Japan, you've been posting some great, really cool stuff. Thanks, Nathan. Link to my website. Yeah, but really, I think not only do I want to encourage people to go to Japan and be an ambassador for sort of like travel and exploring as much as you can, but also we have some incredibly knowledgeable people in this chat, in this community. So I might not be able to answer the question, but I'm sure that somebody in the chat will be able to, and if not, in the Discord, if you're not part of the Discord. On that note, now might be the perfect time for me to mention that we do have a meetup on the 24th of July. For now, that is a set date. Some pictures there of the last meetup. We had so much fun. Meetup will basically, details to be finalized, but it'll be a day of meeting me in person. Yes. Having a few drinks. Stay as long as you want. You can just say hello and leave, or you can stay till the end of the day. But yeah, check it out. Please do. Maybe one of my mods can also share the link. And we have a new subscriber also. Cool. Let's see. Where was I? Eason, going to Japan in 5 days. Looking forward to it the first time. Cool. Well, if you have any questions, then this is a place. Not only will I be able to answer, but we'll be able to help you out also with your first trip to Japan. First trip to Japan is always super special, I have to say. Very, very special. Liking and hating, I thought it was nothing but love from you. Oh boy. Your trip will be here before you know it. Dude, I know. And I'm starting to panic a little bit because I still have a few things to do. I've been organizing a few things. I've got a few side trips in Kyoto. I'm gonna go to the Ine Peninsula, the Japan by the sea. Sorry, Tokyo by the sea they call it. The area there. So I'm very, very, very excited about that, basically. Who? And yeah, I've just seen something, but I don't know what it was. Hey, Jesse. Cool, 7-month member. Thank you very much for being a member for 7 months. Very, very cool, dude. Joshua J, yay, I made it to the stream. Glad I didn't miss all of it. No, I mean, I've been streaming for a short time, maybe 20 minutes or so. Don't know, half an hour maybe. Time flies. 4 months to go to Japan, common commenter. That is also gonna fly by. Don't forget you can become part of the chat ninja team and help support my trip and help support me also. Hi Nate, it's Tsuyu will be over soon, do you think, in Tokyo? I think it's only started a week ago. There's, in the same way that they have like the weather, like the sakura forecast, they have the rainy season forecast. I haven't really been paying attention to, but I think that I will definitely pay attention to soon. Hopefully. Japan, I want physical copies because you are feeding my addiction. Oh boy. Can I purchase my JR pass to get ready for December? Right now it's too early right now to purchase a JR pass. Normally you need to normally it's like 3 months before or 1 month before, depending on when you're purchasing purchasing the JR pass from. I haven't purchased my JR passes yet. In fact, I haven't even purchased my pocket Wi-Fi, my data sims, and all that kind of thing. So I need to do that. I need to do that. Oh, this is what I mean. 4 weeks, but I've got all those things to do. I haven't even done my visit to Japan. Oh, which I've got a feeling that maybe this Wednesday might end up being one of the last Wednesday streams. And apologies for not being able to stream last Wednesday, but unfortunately a close friend of mine passed away, and it was a funeral that day, and I, out of obviously not really feeling up to doing a live stream, I also wanted to be respectful and not live stream. I had a lot on my mind that day, so I decided not to, and I'm glad that I didn't. But I think that maybe this coming Wednesday might be the last Wednesday that I stream before I go to Japan, and I'll just keep the Sunday one, mainly because I have so many things to do. So I'll keep you in the loop about what happens there, basically. We have some 10 months. Bloody hell! How are you telling me, Philippe? It's crazy to think that, because I remember when I found out the whole member thing, and it's already been like 10 months or a year. That's pretty crazy. Going back to Japan the second week of September. Wow! And Caroline found the feature too. Could have said a little bit more though, Caroline. Oh boy. Have you ever been to Sasebo, Nagasaki? I've been to Nagasaki, but I haven't specifically been to Sasebo. No, I haven't. Apparently it ends around the 20th of July in Kanto. This is the thing, that also it ends at different times. The rainy season ends at different times during different parts of Japan. Sorry, I can't even speak. Are you packing your bags already? No, I am not. Actually, no, I am not packing my bags, but I'm sort of like, I have this little corner where I have like a few things that I think, oh, I need to take this to Japan, so I'm going to put it there. Yeah, like for example, I bought some brand new socks for Japan. Tip: take some nice socks to Japan, and they're there like in a corner, so that I don't use them mainly, basically. Ace Gundam Boy says, do you ever experience an earthquake visit in Japan? I have twice. Twice sort of in the same evening, in bed when I was in a hotel room, and I was awoken to my bed basically rocking, similar to where basically being on a train, I'd say, very similar to being on a train. I didn't know what was happening. Then it stopped, and then I thought, damn, like what on earth? And then about 3 minutes later, maybe another earthquake, another tremor, I would say. And that one I was a little bit more worried. And then the third one, then after that was it. It was 2 tremors. And then at that point I was like, boy oh boy, is this gonna get any worse? I just stayed in bed, to be honest, because it, like, you know, there was no alarm or anything. And then I've experienced the app that I showed you guys, the earthquake app that I mentioned on the earthquake app that I mentioned. There we go. I use it, and I also use the actual notifications from the iPhone, and I have experienced that go off once or maybe twice. I think once in a train station, but I didn't feel any tremor, and once in a supermarket where everybody's alarm went off, and everybody sort of stopped and nothing happened, basically. So yeah, those are my earthquake stories. Oops, I was going to purchase my JR pass last week, maybe today. There you go, there's your reminder. It's hard to experience at least one, but it takes something huge to do much damage in Japan. It does. Very sorry for your loss, Nathan. Thank you very much. Obviously, my mind is constantly with the family, to be honest. Constantly. Thank you very much. Thank you. Heading to Japan on an Independence Day, July the 4th. Wow. Just about a week before me. By the way, that was the sound of a Coke Zero. You know, there's no Sunday stream if there's no Coke Zero. All right. Any questions, guys? Travel-related questions about apps. And just a reminder, I have put out a video very, very recently about using apps in Japan. I mentioned Google Maps. Firstly, because it is pretty epic and very useful. I mentioned 3 specific features. One of them being, the transit from within a city or a town. The second one was using the JR Pass to search through using Google Maps with a JR Pass. I think a lot of people are confused about that one. It's not as straightforward as Navitime, that where you can actually toggle on the pass. That would be amazing. If Google had that, that would be like a game changer. But in this case, it's a matter of clicking on the Nozomi Shinkansen, and it will then give you a list of other services leaving in order of time. And if you know which Shinkansens you're allowed to take, well, basically don't take the Nozomi, you'll be able to then have a good idea of which Shinkansen to take. Check out the video, it is quite useful. And then the third feature was a live view, which is very, very useful also. In terms of other apps that I mentioned also the Suica card, digital Suica card, hands up, give it a like, give the video a like if you use a Suica card, or let me know now in the comments section in the chat if you have used my tip, you didn't have Suica set up and I've helped you set it up. I've actually helped you set it up at some point, maybe today or in the past, whatever. Let me know if I've helped you. That would be really cool to know. Other than that, obviously Navitime is very useful for planning trips. I use Navitime many times when I plan in advance, but then I sort of let Google take over, mainly because Google has all of these extra features like the whole exits, what exits to get out of. Apart from that, also I think Google also has a really good way of letting you know what carriage to ride, and how crowded things are, and all sorts of things like that. So, but I do use Navitime also. Apart from that, other apps that I mentioned was Google Translate, which I'm using less and less. I think that the number one feature of Google Translate for me personally is the lens, which allows you to basically have a live feed translation of signs, of menus, etc. So that's probably the number one way that I use Google Translate. I don't really use the conversation feature. I mentioned it in the video. I find it a little bit distracting and a little bit of a gimmick. I've tried using it in the past, and it can be very confusing for the person that you are using it with, especially when it doesn't pick up the voice or whatever. So if I don't know how to say something, I will type it out in English, translate it, and then physically show them, show them on my phone instead of playing it or anything. Most people can read, so yeah. Then I also mentioned, what other apps did I mention? I've even forgotten the Earthquake app, and I also mentioned actually travel cards, which are very useful, very, very useful. Like I use Revolut. I know there's lots of other travel apps, and the great thing is that I have, like I mentioned, I have 3 different cards, Revolut cards, and 2 of them, or maybe I even have 4, maybe 2 of them will be disabled. By disabled I mean they'll be frozen. If anybody gets their hands on them, they can't do anything with it. They won't work, because I have from the app I've actually disabled them, and I will carry one that's enabled in my wallet, on my pocket, or whatever. In the event that I lose that one or it's stolen, I can quickly freeze. So if somebody's stolen it, I can quickly freeze and they won't be able to use it. And the other 2, I'll get one as a backup, sort of, and use that and enable it. So it's very, very useful to do so. And apart from that, the eSIM is the one that we were talking about earlier on. Quite useful. I think buying cool socks in Japan became an obsession of mine. Jessica, I can imagine. Yes, I have a pile in my room for things to pack for Japan. Exactly, you know what I'm talking about then. Hello from Switzerland. Hey, Paolo. Thanks for being here. I'm just worried I'll just get rainy days. But I'm prepared for rain. Be prepared for rain, number one. Number two, rainy days are not the end of the world. I think there is a charm to traveling, to going to shrines and temples and certain areas in the rain. Obviously, usually it doesn't rain all day long in the summer. If it rains, it usually will be a little bit, just a little bit. Just bring extra socks in case your feet get wet. That's probably the worst of it. Yeah, get good shoes, which is something that I'm currently in the middle of searching for. Anybody have any recommendations for slip-ons without laces that are water repellent or waterproof, that are comfortable for walking? Jared, and share the aloha. Okay, Jared, share the aloha. Aloha. Hi Nathan and Ninja Monkey family. Thanks for the tips. You're very, very welcome. Coke Zero. Thank you for the emoji. Nathan, when is the next trip to Japan after this 6 week one? Will that be next year or maybe late on this year? Japan. I am considering going for Halloween. We'll see. I am considering going for Halloween. I'm not very sure yet. I will get a mail to remind me to buy JR Rail Pass. Yes. Hypedia was amazing, guys. I know what you're talking about. Back in the clay. Hypedia was freaking amazing, and there are rumors, that this is, I don't do rumors normally, but this is a trivial one. There are rumors of Hypedia coming back to life. Let's hope. Gary, hey Gary. Hi Nathan, I hope you've been well. I've been busy since getting back from Japan. I'm going back in November. Cool. November will be here sooner than you can imagine. If you could start your YouTube channel all over again, what would you do differently? What would you keep the same? That's a good question. I think the number one thing that I would do differently is I actually set up my channel, Ninja Monkey, a long time ago, and I sort of didn't use it much. I posted a few videos here and there, and did nothing much with it. And then there was a gap of time where I didn't really use the channel that much, and then I started posting on it. And I think that the first thing that I would do is I would probably be committed to creating content from the very, very, very start. I think that I don't know how the algorithm works specifically, but from my experience, I think that the algorithm wants to see engagement, and if you have a dead channel with a few videos at the beginning, and you start, creating videos a few months or years later, that can really confuse the algorithm, in terms of engagement. So I would say that's number one. Number two, I'm not very sure if I will be Ninja Monkey. I've sort of now become accustomed to Ninja Monkey, but I'm not very sure if I would be Ninja Monkey, if I would come up with another name. And I think I've learned a lot. I think thumbnails are like incredibly important, and I think that if you look through my videos for the last year or 2 years, you'll probably see how my thumbnails are increasingly getting better. I'm learning how to create thumbnails. Also, things that I've also learned from YouTube is that collaborations are not necessarily good for a channel. I once collaborated with a YouTuber. I had a shout out from a YouTuber, quite a big YouTuber, kind of near the start of my channel, and I remember getting 400 or 500 subscribers literally overnight from a shout out from this guy, basically saying, hey, subscribe to Ninja Monkey, that kind of thing. And but those 400 or 500 people that came onto my channel, they were not really interested in the content that I was creating. They were interested in my friend's content, and it basically meant that you know, it's not good for engagement. You have these extra 500 people, but they're not really watching your content, and then basically the algorithm saying, well, you got all these people, but they're not watching, so he can't be doing anything right. That makes any sense. On the note of what would I do if I would restart my channel, well, I've mentioned this before. I have started, I am starting, I will be announcing, I was potentially going to announce it today, a new channel. I have a new channel. It's going to be my secondary channel. It's going to be a vlog channel. I want to keep Ninja Monkey as what it is, basically travel tips and guides, but I want to use my new channel as a place where I can be more adventurous, and I can like experiment, and I can create vlogs and not have to put fancy music in the background, where I don't have to worry about B-roll, and I don't have to worry about being arty, and if I make a mistake then it's absolutely fine, and if I film something and I forget to do the ending, I can still put it on this second channel, you know, that kind of thing. If I want to do a reaction video, I can do a reaction video. If I want to confuse the algorithm, I can confuse the algorithm. If I'm not in Japan and I want to create something, I can create something and put it on that channel. I guess that channel is just going to be more about me, me, if that makes any sense, rather than Ninja Monkey. So that's going to be potentially where I'm going to be putting my day-to-day sort of content when I am in Japan. And I do want to don't want to make the mistake of announcing it without actually using it, from near the beginning. But yeah, basically I'm hoping to do very rough, very unedited vlog styles when I am in Japan, or simply, pointing the camera at the street, going for a walk for half an hour and just putting it up for the world to see. I'll be asking everyone for their help, because obviously I do need to reach 100 subscribers, I think it is, to unlock live streaming, and I think I need to reach 1,000 and 4,000 watch hours to enable monetization. So those are things that you're gonna all help me with. Anyway, that's enough about YouTube. Whoa, 4.0 magnitude earthquake. Dude. Jesse, thank you very much. Arigatou gozaimasu. Thank you very much for the gifted membership, which Alan has received. Awesome. Fantastic. I also speak on my iPhone because you mentioned it. Yay, thank you. Awesome. I'm in the heretic category as I've only got Pepsi to drink. What? Damn it. Google Lens is awesome. Menus have way too much kanji. Exactly. Gabriela Lopez, sorry if you have already talked about this, but I love my JR Pass. Do you think I can buy it before they put the price up, since I'm off on the 2nd of November for a month? I'm not very sure. I've mentioned this before in a few different streams. I'm not going to lie. I'm not sure. Watch this space. There's things brewing, like bubbling in respect to the JR Pass. I think we'll probably know a little bit more, I'm guessing, towards the end of this month. We'll probably know a little bit more in that respect, because that will be the 3-month period before October. July, August, September, October. So maybe they'll announce something around that time. I'll be keeping an eye. I've got an Estrella Dam. Kampai, minasan. Cool. And Erica says, is there a way to get a refund for the iPhone Suica? I don't know. I have no idea. I'm guessing it would work in a similar way to a card. It literally is a card. So it's just a card in your wallet. You would basically take it to the refund place and empty it out. I'm guessing. Japan has gifted a membership. What? Oh boy. Thank you very much. And PG was gifted the membership by Japan. Thank you very much. And Gary Johnson, member for 3 months, and also member. This is the best informative channel for Japan. I try. I think I try to keep it as tourist sort of minded as I can. Yeah, that's basically what I try to do. there's so many channels out there, and they're all really good. You know, like the competition is fierce. I'm not gonna lie, yeah. I try my best not to watch other YouTubers, basically for various reasons. Number one, I don't want to be influenced by what other people are doing. I want to be myself, and I think this channel is slowly has a little bit of an identity, if that makes any sense. And if I watch some other YouTubers, then I worry that I'm you know, that it won't be authentic and it won't be me. Number one. Number two, I think that other channels have a lot of that. There's three types of channels, and I think I'm unique and different to some of the other channels in the sense that, number one, there are loads of people that live in Japan making content, and yes, their content is really good. However, their information is from the eyes from Japan, you know, and sometimes they miss the mark in some respects, I think. Number two, then you have those like YouTubers that are going to Japan and are there on holiday, and they are the wow YouTubers. Their videos are like, oh my god, Japan's amazing. Oh my god, I went on the Shinkansen for the first time. Oh my god, there's a vending machine everywhere. Oh my goodness gracious, you know, that kind of YouTuber. Some YouTubers, content creators with millions of subscribers going on a holiday, and they put out some kind of content basically saying went on the fastest train in Japan, that kind of thing. And their experience is good, obviously, because you're seeing it through the eyes of a first time traveler, which is always fun to see. But I think that what sets me apart is that I have collected many years and many trips of experience, and therefore when I'm traveling through Japan, I try my best to always be thinking, you know, how would a tourist see this? What makes this interesting? Would a tourist want to see this? Would a tourist be interested in it? And give you my experience as not just a first-time traveler, but somebody who's been there many times as a tourist. Anyway, that's basically what I think sets my channel apart. Thank you very much for feeling that my channel is informative, Gary. I hope that I can continue, and I hope that basically that I continue making good content. Thank you, Jim Ross. Arigatou gozaimasu. I need to update the tick at the top. Thank you very much. Arigatou gozaimasu for the 5 Ninja Monkey memberships. Cool. Frog Lady, thank you very much for the donation. Also, I'm gonna update everything up there in a moment. But yeah, I'm so excited. I'm not gonna lie, I'm starting to get really freaking excited about my trip to Japan, just because I want to live stream. Maybe, you know what I might start doing? Maybe I might start doing in real life streams again from Gibraltar, just so that I can practice the gimbal and all those kind of things, microphone problems. I'd rather like sort them all out before. Nathan, thanks, for the help with the Suica to the smartphone. Yay, awesome, cool. And Chris, Google even tells you the price of the train ticket. Gabriella, the idea is to, but before October. Sorry for your loss, no problem, man. You're an asset, Nathan, for us Japan lovers. That's what we are. We all are Japan lovers here. I still have my Suica card from April trip, and I will reuse it in November. Awesome. Rainy days are great for photos since you get all the reflections. I agree. I think that yeah. Erica, does Japan take Apple Pay? Sort of. Okay, that's a really interesting one. Japan does take Apple Pay, but they don't call it Apple Pay. They call it Tap, I think. I think if you go to a place and you say Tap, I think it's Tap. I can't remember exactly off the top of my head. But if you like, for example, if you try to pay for something with Apple Pay, and there's even though it might have a contactless, like an Apple Pay sign, and you tap, it won't do anything. They'll expect the card. But if you say tap, I think it was tap, contactless, no, I'm pretty sure it was tap, then they sort of like enable it, and then you can tap, which is something that I only learned in my last trip thanks to Nomadic Gaijin. By the way, Nomadic Gaijin is the guy here with the hat. recommend check out his channel, say that I sent you that way. You can ask him on his channel or on his Twitch, by the way. Cool guy there. Yeah, he was teaching me that. So rainy days in Japan, many cities have whole economy underground and mall connected together that can be had without going outside in the summer, heat or in the rain or in the snow. Yeah, and like you can use a map and you can actually look at the exits from a station. Stations are big, but stations are really big underground sometimes, especially the metro. So sometimes you can actually travel from one station, from one end of the station, and walk underground all the way to the other side of, like a few hundred meters away, and be safe from rain, etc. Halloween in Japan, especially Shibuya, is the bestest. Like 4 nights of Halloween party time. Cool. My tip is to wear new shoes for a couple of weeks before you go to Japan. This is why I'm asking if anybody has any shoe recommendations. I can order them, start wearing them. Frog Lady is in the house. What? By the way, nobody's telling me to change the color of the background. So I'm just gonna go to green, because is that even green? Kind of. It's kind of green. Oh boy. Vessi shoes are best for rainy days. I went to Bruges, Belgium on a really rainy day and they were perfect. Julie, really, the thing is that they don't sell Vessi shoes in Europe. This is the thing. There we go, we changed it to green already. Breaking new shoes and insoles now. Oh, cool. Japan sizes are definitely very different, I agree. I have some sandals that I wore last year, basically only for Japan. So, is it redundant to go to Kyoto and Kanazawa? No, I think they're both uniquely different. I think Kyoto would probably need more time than Kanazawa. That's probably what I would say. In fact, during my trip this time, I'm going to be spending 3 nights, I think, in Kanazawa, 4 days in Kanazawa out of my trip, because last time I was in Kanazawa for like a day, for 1 night. And I felt that I didn't get the true experience. I didn't really like it too much, but I think it's because I was rushing it. And I've heard so many people telling me how amazing it is. So, Adam X, hey, thanks for the videos. Good to hear earlier that Revolut works for the ATMs. Yeah, Revolut, if you do have a Revolut card, then there's a little tip. I can't remember if it was, let me just check very quickly on Revolut. I can tell you right now. So, with Revolut, when you take cash out, 7-Eleven Bank, right? That's it. If you use a MasterCard, if you use a MasterCard with taking cash out from the 7-Eleven, and you use a MasterCard and it's a Revolut MasterCard, you can actually get cash out without any fees whatsoever. If you use a Visa, there will be a fee. I think that it's something to do with the 7-Eleven bank having some kind of arrangement or agreement with MasterCard. Sometimes, it's worth trying a MasterCard and trying a Visa and seeing which one is going to incur, have some kind of a fee. Just be aware that when it comes to certain travel cards, usually there's a certain limit before they start charging you. In my case, I think it's £400, and after those £400, they will charge a fee. For me, that's more than enough because I'm going to be paying for everything using my card, and there are no fees whatsoever when you use your card like a normal debit card. The fees are for the ATM. So yeah. Lani, hey, you're definitely doing things right. Your information to us is invaluable. Thank you very much. Who here watched my last video, by the way? Out of curiosity, who here watched the last video? Did you just get a double membership? I don't know. I just got membership on my personal account. Oh, there you go. Dude. Cool. If you use Prism, you need 0 subs. You can do 10p to boost. Yeah, I know you can. It's pretty cool, Prism. I use Prism all the time. Let's keep the money train going. Choo choo. I know, Prism. 0 zabs needed. It's pretty cool. I know. Guilted me into this. Whoa, I'm not good. I'm going to have to catch up with... so let's see. We have 5 gifted memberships. That's about $25, I guess. I don't know how much 5 gifted memberships is, to be honest. To see. YouTube at... Wow. How much is a membership? I don't even know. I don't even know how much a membership costs, guys. I'm gonna guess $20 or $25 for the 5 memberships. I'm just gonna add everything up. Then $14 Australian, which is how much? What is $14.99 Australian in US dollars? Around $10. So 20, 35, and then the 2 membership 5, 40, 45. I'm going to add 45 to the thingy. So that's 65. Just to keep things fresh. Ta-da! Should be updated. More or less, I know. It might not be absolutely perfect, but just to get an idea, you know? You're the best of the best. Thank you, Mina. If your Japan live streams are indication and involve drinking, it will be #1 hit. Maybe, probably. Go viral, maybe, right? Thank you so much for the sub, Blue Silver. And great donation, thank you, Nathan. Can I have a green background? I've already done it. Haha, choo-choo. Should be with you soon. The merch. Ooh, Jim. Cool. I will give memberships, but I'm on my phone and I don't see an option for it. Yeah, I'm not very sure how the membership works. This is what I want to try. Japan. I want to Japan Ichiban. JJI. That's why I want to try test it out. Basically, I wish someone could teach me to take better pictures on my iPhone. I can't wait for my August trip to Japan. Dude, August is gonna be insane. This is awesome, Nathan. Can't wait for my month-long trip to October. Such an informative channel. Thank you, dudes. Frog Lady, I have dollar symbols next to my chat bar. The option to donate subs is in there for me. Is that from the app, or is it from the web? Japan. New designs will be available. Yeah, I am currently in the middle of getting my samples for my t-shirts, bandanas, and stickers, which will be available for patron members. What sizes do you wear? I might have an extra pair I bought but cannot fit. Perhaps a birthday present. Ooh. Send me a message later and I'll check. Hi, I commented a while ago about getting from Haneda to Hotel Racery. I wasn't sure about getting there. I was told a taxi would cost a fortune, 100%, but I've been quoted £57 with the Go taxi. Okay, well, I guess that sometimes, you know, if you can get some kind of an agreement in advance, then why not? But I would say, Barry, that use Google Maps. If you don't have too much luggage and you're traveling by yourself or with not too many people, it's quite easy to get to from Haneda to Hotel Gracery. You probably go to Shinagawa and then change onto the JR line to get you to Shinjuku, and then maybe you could get a taxi there. That would be a fraction of the price, to be honest. Pre-planning, your teachers are too organized. Whoa, Gary Johnson, arigatou gozaimasu. Thank you very much, Gary. Now I'm gonna have to change this again to 85. I need to do something special, I think, every time someone donates. You can change the color. I mean, Gary's thingy is orange, so should I just change the thing to orange? What do you think? Let's change the color to orange. Gary, if you want a different color, just let me know. There we go. Orange it is. Yeah, you can get the limousine bus from Haneda. It's straight, basically, from Haneda to Shinjuku. Actually, you might even stop in your hotel. So, hey, Jim Ross. I did watch your last video. Cool. I saw the one on apps. Awesome. I did. Thank you. Thanks. I was planning on going to both Shirakawa-go and Takayama. Okay, Takayama is pretty cool. Mel also watched the newest video. Cool. Thank you very much. And Paolo, I did. Cool. If you had to pick 3 sites in Tokyo to see, what would they be? That is such a loaded question. Bloody hell. What would be my 3 sites? I love anywhere where you can see the Tokyo Tower. I would say that when it comes to a photo, I would much rather have a photo of the Tokyo Tower than the Skytree personally. So maybe heading to a district where you can see the Tokyo Tower, would be pretty cool. That's one site that I would say. Number 2, I think that really like Shibuya Sky, which is one of the newest sort of like platform observation sort of platform things. You have a 360 view of Tokyo, and it's some pretty nice views from there. And then I think I've mentioned this before. There's a garden called Hamarikyu Garden. And there's a tea house, which I've mentioned before, and from that tea house there is the most gorgeous view of a traditional Japanese garden with the skyscrapers in the background whilst you're having tea, and it is yeah, off the top of my head, those are 3 sort of things. What would you recommend for first time travelers trying to find their way around Japan? Tour guides or Google Maps? I think first-time travelers, I think it depends on the type of traveler that you are, whether you're very, very old, whether you're confident, whether you're traveling with a family, whether you have mobility issues, etc. I think that Japan, Tokyo specifically, is very easy to navigate around, especially with Google Maps. I think that when you do travel on your own or following directions like Google Maps, you do tend to end up lost and finding things that are a little bit unexpected, if that makes any sense. So it's a difficult one. At the same time, I understand that going to Japan on a tour guide for the very first time, with a tour guide on the very first time, can be incredibly convenient. I went to Japan for the very first time with a tour, and then I stayed an extra week on my own, an extra 5 or 6 days, I can't remember now, on my own, and explored a little bit more on my own. So yeah, it just depends on you, on what you like and how confident you are and what you're looking for, really. Personally, I'm not really into like the history. So in the past, I've gone on certain tours, and they've stopped at different places and they've given you the whole history of the place, and they talk for a long time about how a stone is, I don't know, brought from I don't know where, and how old it is, and the history of the shogun. I'm not too interested in those things. So yeah, it just depends, really. Would the Revolut card be connected to my bank account, or do I need a new one, or do you put money on? Yeah, you put your money in like a Suica basically, but through the app basically. Content not to be missed. Awesome, thank you, Jim. Barry Lawson, does that go straight to the Hotel Gracery? You'd have to check. I'm not 100% sure of exactly where it stops, but it might. Maybe somebody can answer that question for him. Like, sometimes I get questions that I just can't answer because I don't know the answer. Somebody asked me, I've had some really interesting questions this week from the luggage video. That one's doing really well right now, actually. The what to pack for your trip to Japan, that one's doing fantastically well. And I've been getting some really interesting comments. Somebody asked me, what about condoms in Japan? That was, believe it or not, a question. Then I have like really specific questions that I just can't answer. Like, how do I get to a very specific hotel? Like, it's quite interesting. Kanazawa was seriously one of my favorite destinations on my first trip to Japan, says Stevie. And actually, my Japanese friend, she's from Kyoto, and her favorite place to go is Kanazawa. So Thank you. I have gotten so much info from your videos. We arrive on June the 22nd. Cool. Got JR pass, but still worried on our travel from Tokyo, Hiroshima, Kyoto, Tokyo. Tokyo to Hiroshima is a long trip. If you can maybe fit in one night in somewhere like Osaka or something on the way, then I suggest that you do that. And then go Hiroshima, Kyoto, Tokyo. That would probably improve the trip a little bit more. Barry, it goes really close. You could just walk around the corner from the bus stop or get the cheap taxi from there. Thank you very much, Japan, for that. Thank you. Oh, it's frozen. Whoa, that took ages. Normally it freezes like straight away, right? Let's see. What's the chat? Let's refresh it. And where is the? Let's refresh that one. Ooh. Apparently there are 0 people watching the stream right now, according to the viewer count, which I know is not true, but hey. Okay, let's see. The Skytree is very impressive. I do like going to the Skytree. I'm not gonna lie. To be honest, I'm gonna get a taxi till I get adjusted to the area. Okay. I mean, if that makes you comfortable and happy, then fine. Japan, you're due for a YouTube live. I believe you owe me one. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, or Saturday are open. Yeah, dude, choose a day, man. You should definitely choose a day, Japan. Like, just choose a day, like a day that isn't Wednesday or Sunday, and do a stream. If you can, like, keep to a time, and we'll be there supporting you, man. Also purchase Team Labs Planet tickets. Have you been interactive museum exhibits? Yes, I have. I love it. It's pretty cool. In fact, maybe it might be my first video of my new channel. Basically, because after all, my new channel is basically going to be like all the stuff that didn't make it into my channel because it wasn't good enough. It's going to go on my new channel, and I don't want to like announce the channel until there's at least one video on it. So thanks again, your advice is awesome. I've learned a lot of planning for my trip. Cool. Which hotel? Gracery? There are several. It's true. Which one? That's important. In Shinjuku, I'm guessing, right? Orange is great. Yay! Orange is one of my favorite colors, by the way. Condoms, get them in your own country. That's what I said. That was my answer. Just bring, they don't take that much time, that much space. Promises sound like a politician. Shibuya Sky is awesome. I agree. So part of Japan is good for late February, early March. I'm trying to combine Japan with Guam, so the time of year is best for Guam weather, I hear. I think that keeping to like the Kansai region is probably going to be spot on for that time of the year, February, early March. I went in February, early March, I think it was, or the end of February when I went, and I was in Tokyo, and the weather was fantastic. It was so good. Cold, but starting to warm up a little bit, and it was really, really good. That's one thing that I like about Japan. Tokyo area, Kyoto, Tokyo, Osaka, that kind of thing. That area is pretty good for in the winter. I think you get crisp blue skies, great opportunities for Mount Fuji photography, etc. Summer, it becomes humid, it becomes a little bit harder to take photos, etc. But hey, whew, I feel like I've been non-stop talking. Because I have been non-stop talking. If anybody has any questions, please, now is the time. I'm gonna give it another 10 minutes or so before I end the stream, and I'm gonna do a very, very quick check for comments on my YouTube videos. See what people are saying. So Somebody says, Rodent1241 says, questions about the pyjama thing. How do they accommodate for sizes? I assume they go by the one size fits most. Yes, probably. But if you have pyjamas that fit you, because you are always out of that range, usually too small for adults but too big for children. I love they provide it, but I think I'd be drowning in them. Yeah, that's interesting. You know, I have never traveled with pajamas ever. So for me, when I get messages like this, comments like this on my videos about the pajamas, surprisingly, it's been a little bit of a controversial thing when I mentioned don't take pajamas because there are pajamas provided. The amount of people that have commented saying, "Oh God, I need to take my pajamas," you know, like I can't use hotel pajamas. Yeah, I just find it fascinating personally. And then, hi, thank you for the info on JR Plus. I will be traveling there in February 2023. Oh, that's an old one. What other questions have I received? I also have about another time. Thank you. And people who are thinking of traveling solo. Very helpful, informative. I use Japantravel Navitime a lot for Shinkansen. Somebody said pack extra cash, both yen and US dollars for emergencies. Also have a copy of your passport with photocopied, whether photocopied or scanned. I think those are good tips personally also. Definitely, I think they're good tips. Erica, what's your recommendation to book a Shinkansen using the JR Pass? Should I use a kiosk or a ticket agent at the train station? They're both equally easy. I think it depends on, first of all, it depends on how line the ticket agent line is. If there's no line or very, very short line, I would just go there probably. Sometimes they are very knowledgeable and they will very clearly direct you, and they might actually say like, hey, do you want a Mount Fuji view, etc, or they'll say, I put you on the window on the side of the Mount Fuji. I'm not very sure if you can do that at a kiosk personally, and then at a kiosk obviously it's fast, it's quite easy to do, but a human being will always have that like knowledge and experience that a kiosk basically doesn't really. So been to the two of them, not for me. Don't like walking in the dark, unable to find exits. Also, there's no depth to it, no meaning. It's not art, to me at least. Yeah, you know what? I think the one in Odaiba was much darker and much more of a maze. I remember being in the Odaiba one, starting to get a little bit panicky and not being able to exit, not being able to find the exit. Everything felt the same. It was pretty awesome though. The new one in Toyosu, the Planet one, I think is more straightforward. It's definitely more of a one way, sort of takes you to the exit sort of thing. Ticket agents, when you swap your voucher, Erica, super helpful. Definitely, yeah. I think Ichiban has hit the nail there. Basically, just when you exchange a voucher, you can do the majority of your bookings with them, with the agent. Has anybody ever tried a love hotel just for fun, alone? Because they're quite unusual rooms for rent. I have not, actually. Maybe it's something I should do. Been to many love hotels, Lani. Not alone, though. Is the Tokyo Tsukiji market worth visit? Erica, the Tsukiji market is closed. It no longer exists. It was knocked down a few years back. However, the outer market is definitely worth a visit, and you can actually see one of my videos. Hopefully, maybe one of my moderators there can share the video, which is, I think it's like 3 things to do in the morning, or 3 morning activities to do. That I did a little collaboration there with Oriental Pearl. I head to the morning market. Sorry, I head to the outer market of Tsukiji, and it's definitely worth going there. But I suggest you get there earlier rather than later. because it can get very, very busy. If you know what you wear, if you know what and where you're going, kiosk is okay, but again, a mix of match to get better service than you did. I agree. Yes, I thought it was never going to get out of that one. Team Labs are opening something here in the Netherlands in 2024. Cool. They do have them all over the place, I think. Even Singapore. Still want to buy rubber boots at the new fish markets. Ooh, do they? Really? Okay. That is interesting shopping want. And Japan has just shared my video, and that video basically I go with Oriental Pearl to Asakusa and Tsukiji outer market, spend, and I also go to that garden with the pond and the tea. It's pretty cool. I'm going November 18 to 27. How's the weather then in Tokyo to see fall? Should I go in November? I think you should be pretty much okay there, Gary. And also it depends. You're not going to see much fall really in Tokyo. You're going to have to probably head out, maybe to places like Nikko, Ashikaga, Nikko, those areas a little bit for that, Morioka, etc. Not too far away. Sendai, maybe, but out of the city, that's where you're gonna get those colors that you're looking for, I think, Gary. I think we are starting to reach the end of the stream. So, I would like to say, firstly, a big thank you to those of you who have been here, in the chat, and time is very valuable, and the fact that you've decided to spend your time with me means a lot. Thank you very much. I am really looking forward to getting to Japan, getting my feet on Japanese ground so that I can actually show you all what I get up to, which is one of the things that I'm planning on doing. Doing quite a few live streams whilst I'm there. Hopefully get some new viewers also, and so thank you very, very much, and obviously a big thank you to those of you who have contributed to the donations up there, which will definitely be helping me along my way on this rather expensive trip that I'm going on, but hopefully bringing you along with me. Anyway, so Gary, there are maps that will show you what time and where autumn colors show. Yeah, like Sakura, definitely. Have you done a video on new attractions coming that we can go to? I've mentioned that I have a video on new attractions, and then I mentioned that in my latest update. I mentioned a few. Maybe I'll have to make a part 2. Thanks for streaming. Commentary, you're very welcome. Thanks for another stream. Japan, thank you very much. Black Impala, you're very welcome. Have a good night, everyone. A good day for the people in other time zones, definitely. Thanks as well, no problem. Been enjoyable as usual. Thanks, Nathan Dory. Frog Lady, thanks for being here. Lani, no problem. Jim, take care. Barry, thank you very much. Kit Kat, good evening. I will see about catching the stream next Sunday when I'm in Japan. Later. See you in the next few weeks in real life, in person. Hey, Back in the Clay. By the way, check out Back in the Clay. Also has a channel, so let's give him a little bit of love. Before we go, just search Back in the Clay. You'll be able to find him. Maybe Japan will be able to add that one in there. Hey, have you been there quietly watching? Have you been sneaky? That is what I call sneaky. I don't think you've been mentioning, you've been commenting at all. Erica, hey, thank you very much. You're welcome. Night. And on that note, stay positive and be a happy gaijin. See you soon all. Take care. Arigatou gozaimasu. Watch my latest video.